Hi, once again welcome back to Obstetrics and Gynecology videos. Today we are going to see about the preterm newborn or preterm neonate. A preterm baby means a neonate or a newborn born before 37 completed weeks of gestation, or in days if you are telling before 259 days of gestation, irrespective of the birth weight. The premature birth commonly used as a synonym for the preterm baby, and it refers to the birth of the baby before the developing organs are mature enough to allow the normal postnatal survival. That is, if the delivery is occurring 37 completed weeks of pregnancy, the survival of the baby in the extrauterine life, or when the baby is getting delivered, the survival of the baby outside the uterus will be difficult. The baby may survive, but it won't be as much easier as like the tame baby. The causes for this preterm birth include spontaneous and induced causes. The spontaneous reasons include the health status of the mother. If the mother belongs to or if she is having low socioeconomic status, in that case, she may go for the hard work, and that may induce the preterm labor, or that may leads to the onset of preterm contractions, and that may end with the preterm delivery. And another reason is the multiple pregnancy. In when two pregnancies are there means we know the normal theory of onset of labor. Because of the stretching of the uterine muscles, the labor pain or the contractions may get stimulated. In the case of multiple pregnancy, this much level of stretching will occur even before the term. So that may be a reason for the preterm labor. And number of pregnancies are increasing due to advanced maternal age. That is, in case if you are not able to give birth to the baby naturally we will go for the artificial reproductive technology. And in the case of ARTs, the chance for multiple pregnancies are also high, and naturally those who are going for the ART, the age also will be high. Why means in the normal ages we'll be trying for the normal ways, and if it fails only, the couples will go for the artificial reproductive technology. So naturally the age of the couple also will be more, and chance for multiple pregnancies are also there, and in that case also there is a chance for preterm labor. And it's the most common complication of pregnancy and is occurring in 10 to 6 to 10 percentage of all the pregnancy, and nowadays the incidence rate is increasing, and it may be due to the placental problem also, sometimes due to the premature separation of the placenta, in case due to shock or due to fall or due to accidents. If the placenta is getting separated earlier, that's the reason, and that may end with the delivery of the baby. Otherwise, in case placental aging is occurring before the normal, before the baby is attaining the term, premature aging of the placenta, that is also a reason. And another one is preterm labor and premature rupture of the membrane. In case if the fetal membranes are getting ruptured earlier, that may ends with the preterm labor. The reasons for this premature rupture, it may be spontaneous without any reason, it may occur, that is one thing. Otherwise, sometimes due to accidents, or sometimes due to fall, or if excessive intrauterine pressure is there, that you can see in the case of multiple pregnancy or in the case of polyhydramnios. So in that case, automatically sometimes the um, fetal membranes may rupture. So that is one reason. And another reason is low maternal weight. In already, if the mother's health status is poor, she may have a tendency, or she may get the preterm labor. And chronic and acute systemic maternal diseases. If the mother is having gestational hypertension, or if the mother is having any other chronic diseases, there is a chance for preterm labor. And antepartum hemorrhage, that is bleeding during the pregnancy, that is antepartum hemorrhage. If it is there also, there is a chance for preterm labor. And another one is cervical incompetence. We know that during the pregnancy, the cervix should be completely closed. And in case if the cervix is not fully closed, that condition is known as the incompetency of the cervix. And if the cervix is incompetent, that may leads to the premature labor of the baby, or that may leads to the earlier expulsion of the baby through this dilated cervix. and maternal genital colonization and infections. Severe infections of the mother and genital infections of the mother may lead to the preterm labor. And another one is cigarette smoking history of the mother. If the mother is having the habit of smoking, there is a chance for vasoconstriction and there is a chance for constriction of the blood vessels which are supplying to the placenta also. And when the placental supply is getting delayed, there is a chance for premature aging of the placenta, and that also may lead to the separation and preterm labor of the baby. And acute emotional stress. During the time of excessive stress, the hormonal levels in the maternal body may vary and that may lead to the preterm onset of labor. And another reason is physical exertion. If she is doing heavy work, if she is lifting heavy object, naturally her intra-abdominal pressure will be increasing when she is lifting the heavy object. And already I have told you that if the intra-abdominal pressure is increasing, there is a chance for rupture of the membrane, and if the membranes are rupturing, there is a chance for delivery. And another one is sexual activity. Vigorous sexual activities that also may lead to the premature rupture of the membrane, or it may stimulate the uterine contractions, and that also may produce the preterm labor. And another one is trauma. It may be due to the accidents or maybe due to the fall. So in that case, there is a chance for preterm labor, and due to that stress and due to that direct pressure, there is a chance for onset of contractions. And another reason is biconate uterus. That is, if the uterus is having two cornuae, usually or only one fundus will be there. Here the upper portion of the fundus or the uterus will be divided into two segments. In that case, sufficient space may not be there inside the uterus for accommodating the developing fetus. So when the space is less and when the baby is growing, before attaining the term itself, these muscles will get stimulated and that may produce the uterine contractions. That is, already we have seen in the normal onset of labor, the excessive stretching of the muscles that will give a reflex action to the pituitary, and pituitary may produce the or release the oxytocin. And another one is congenital malformations of the baby, and even congenital malformations of the uterus also, because congenital malformation of the uterus is biconate, in sometimes biconate uterus or sometimes tripartite uterus, that is uterus will be having three segments. All these things and even the congenital malformations of the baby also may lead to the preterm birth. And induced include, in case if the mother is having uncontrolled diabetes mellitus, sometimes even if the pregnancy is not at term, also for controlling the diabetes mellitus and for saving the life of the mother and baby, we may induce the labor. The same we may do in the case of eclampsia also. If the mother is having hypertension and if it is associated with convulsion, we may go for the premature preterm induction of the labor in order to control the hypertension. And in case if the baby is getting hypoxia due to any reason, sometimes it may be due to placental dysfunction, or it may be due to the separation of the placenta, or it may be due to eclampsia. Because of any of this reason, if the baby is getting hypoxia and if signs of fetal distress you are observing, immediately you can, at least for saving the life of the baby, you can induce the labor. So these type of inductions may lead to the preterm labor. And another reason include placental dysfunction and unsatisfactory fetal growth. Already I have told you about the premature separation of the placenta, and placental aging also may occur. In these cases, chance for the placental supply will decrease, and because of the decreased placental supply, the growth of the baby also may get delayed, or insufficient unsatisfactory growth of the baby will occur. In that case also, you can go for the preterm induction of the labor. And another reason is if the mother is having severe rhesus isoimmunization, that is if the mother is Rh negative and if the baby is Rh positive, and if our antibodies are forming inside the maternal body against the baby's blood group, there is a chance for hemolysis of the baby. In that case also, in order to prevent the further destruction of the RBCs of the baby, we can go for the induction of the labor. And another reason is antepartum hemorrhage. Because of one or other reason, sometimes bleeding may occur from the uterus. The main reasons are placenta previa and abruptio placenta. Placenta previa means the placenta is located in the lower segment of the uterus. Abruptio placenta means premature separation of the placenta. In these two cases, bleeding will occur, and in case such bleeding is occurring, there is a chance for fetal hypoxia and the other complications for the mother and for the baby. So in that case, you can go for the induction of the labor. So that is, in these cases, iatrogenic prematurity, that is, you are inducing or you are artificially creating a premature baby. Next, we can see the clinical features. If you're looking into the measurements of the baby, the size of the baby will be small, relatively small when comparing with the term infant. We know that normal term infant will be having 50 to 52 centimeter length. That is, crown heel length will be that much 50, it will be more than 50, but here it will be length of the baby will be less than 47 centimeter, and head circumference also will be less than 33 centimeter, and there will be a difference between, but still there will be a difference between head and chest circumference for more than 3 centimeter. And activity, if you're looking, generally the baby's activity will be poor, and autonomic reflexes such as Moro reflex, sucking, swallowing, all those things will be sluggish, and baby may not be having even the capacity to suck effectively, and the baby will assume a extended position. The natural position is flexion. We know that the extremities will be fully flexed towards the body, but here the baby will be in a extended position, and the tone of the muscles also will be poor for the baby. And if you're coming to the face and head, face of the baby will be small, and the size of the head will be large when comparing with the other parts of the body, and sutures will be widely separated because of the ossification of the skull bones may not be completed, and large fontanelles also will be there, and chin of the baby will be small, and the eyes will be protruding. And optic nerve will be usually unmyelinated. That's the reason for this protrusion, and ear cartilage is deficient or absent with poor recoil of the ear, and hair appears woolly and fuzzy, and individual hair fibers can be seen separately. And if you're looking into the skin and subcutaneous tissue, the skin will be thin and gelatinous, and will be shiny and excessively pink, and the complete body will be covered by fine hair-like structures that is known as lanugo, and very little vernix caseosa will be there at the time of birth, and sometimes the baby may be having edema also, and subcutaneous fat will be deficient, or it will be very less, and the breast may be small, breast nodule may be small, or sometimes even it may be absent also. And if you're coming to the genitals, in the case of male genitalia, the testes will be undescended and the scrotum will be poorly developed. And female genital area, the labia majora will be widely separated, and it will expose the labia minora, and hypertrophy, that is size of the clitoris also will be more. And if you're coming to the characteristics of preterm infants, the skin already we have seen, it will be bright pink, and it will be often translucent, and it depends on the degree of maturity of the baby, and the skin will be smooth and shiny, sometimes maybe edematous also, and the blood vessels under the skin will be clearly visible because of the thin epidermis, and fine lanugo will be there all over the body. And if you're looking on the cartilage, it will be soft and pliable. Ear cartilages will be soft, and poor recoiling will be there. And if you're coming to the sole and palms, the palmar creases will be minimal, and the appearance will be smooth. And in the male genitalia, already we have seen the male infant scrotum will be undeveloped, and it won't be pendulous, and the rugae also will be minimum. The testis may be in the inguinal canal or in the lower portion, or it may be in the abdominal cavity itself. So undescended testis with the minimum rugae will be there. And female genitalia, clitoris will be more prominent, and labia majora will be poorly developed, and wide gapping will be there, and because of this labia minora also will be visible. And another one is calf sign, that is, if you are just flexing the elbow, if you are bringing the elbow towards the chest, it will be coming very easily with no resistance. In the normal baby, you will feel the resistance, and if you are leaving also, immediately it will go back to the previous position. And we can see the difference between preterm baby and term baby. If you're looking into the posture of the baby, the preterm baby infant will be in a relaxed attitude. That is, the extremities are extended, that is, limbs will be extended, hands and legs will be extended, the body size will be small, and the head may appear somewhat larger when comparing to the other parts of the body. That is, a disproportion will be there between the head and body, and the infant has more subcutaneous fat and tissues, and term infant, if you are looking, the baby will be having more subcutaneous fat and tissues, and the baby will be having that flexed attitude also. And if you're looking into the cartilages, it will be well formed in the case of tame baby, and it will be poorly formed in the case of preterm baby. So the recoil of the ear also will be poor in the case of preterm baby, and the hair will be fine, and it will be having separate stand, but here it will be feathery, and lanuca will be there all over the body in the case of preterm baby. And if you're looking at the sole of the feet, in the case of preterm baby, it will be rigid and fine wrinkles will be there. But in the case of term baby, plantar and palmar creases will be there, and it will be well and deeply creased. And female genitalia, already we have seen in the case of preterm baby, clitoris will be prominent, labia majora are poorly developed, and so the gapping will be there. But in the case of term baby, if you are looking, labia majora will be fully developed, and clitoris won't be prominent, and it won't be the labia minora also won't be protruding. It will be covered by the majora. And male genitalia, if you are looking, in the case of preterm baby, the scrotum won't be fully developed, and it won't be pendulous, and only minimum rugae will be there in the scrotum, and testes won't be descended. But in the case of tame baby, the scrotum will be well developed, and it will be pendulous, and rugae, it will be rugated, and testes will could have well descended into the scrotum might have descended into the testis fully. And next one is calf sign. All these things we have seen already, but here just we are comparing with the term baby. The elbow, if you are just bringing across its chest, it will be coming easily, or it may come without much resistance. But in the case of term baby, resistance will be there, and the elbow, it will be difficult for you to bring it to the midline. Now we can see the complications due to the preterm delivery. We can see it system wise. If you are looking at the central nervous system, immaturity of the central nervous system will be there, and because of that, reflexes also may not be fully developed. So the baby will be having poor cuff reflex. The sucking and swallowing reflex also will be uncoordinated, and there is a chance for retrolateral fibroplasia, and intraventricular and periventricular hemorrhage chance is also there. And when you're coming to the respiratory system, after the delivery, the baby, it will be difficult for the baby to start the respiration spontaneously, and even if you are trying for the resuscitation also, it will be difficult for you to resuscitate because of the small lung capacity, and there is a chance for hyaline membrane disease due to the reduced amount of surfactant, or due to the surfactant deficiency, and the breathing is periodic and associated with the intercostal recessions due to the soft rib, and chance for aspiration is there, and chance for atelectasis is also there because of this improper or immature respiratory system. Next is cardiovascular system. The pattern, the ductus arteriosus may not be closed in the case of preterm infants, so this may leads to the mixture of the pure, oxygenated blood with the deoxygenated blood. And when it is coming to the gastrointestinal system, chance for regurgitations and aspiration is there because of the improper development of the cardiac sphincter, and abdomen may be distended, and there is chance for functional intestinal obstruction also. Chance for enterocolitis is there, and hyperbilirubinemia, there is a chance is there, and chance for hypoglycemia is also there, because naturally the baby won't be having the capacity to suck and eat effectively, so naturally that baby may get the hypoglycemia also. Next is thermoregulation. Already the baby will be having less fat, so the chance for heat loss is more from the baby, so we have to always we have to keep the baby warm. And chance for infection is also there for the baby because of the poorly developed immune system, and chance for renal immaturity is also there because of this renal immaturity or the improper filtering of the kidney. Sometimes the blood urea level may become high, and chance for acidosis is also there, and chance for edema is also there because of the improper emptying of the improper filtration of the kidney. And even if you are giving mild drug also or minimum dose also, chance for drug toxicity is there, and chance for getting nutritional problems are also there because of the improper sucking. And naturally the baby will be having anemia, and baby may be having deficiency of folic acid and vitamin E, and chance for, because of the deficiency, there is a chance of osteopenia and rickets, and chance for hypoglycemia, hypokalemia, and hypoxia is there because already respiratory system is affected. So the chance for getting oxygenation or the respiration, onset of respiration may not occur effectively in the postnatal period or immediately after delivery. So that may leads to the hypoxia, and the baby may not be sucking effectively. So the baby won't be getting the sufficient vitamins, minerals, nutrients, even the glucose also. So there is a chance for hypocalcemia and hypoglycemia. Even deficiency of folic acid and other vitamins also will be there due to the improper nutrition. Now let us see the management of preterm labor. In case if the labor process has started earlier, that is if the lady is getting uterine contractions, and if you are thinking that it is sufficient for ending with the delivery of the baby, if the uterine contractions are that much strong, even if it is mild also, sometimes it may increase and it may end with the labor process. So in that case, you can give bed rest to the lady, and you can give sedations. Mild sedation may suppress the uterine contraction, and you can give the tocolytic agents. Tocolytics are the drugs which are suppressing the uterine contraction. So even if mild contractions are there also, when you're giving tocolytics, it will suppress the contraction and you can arrest the preterm labor. And the same, you can give ethanol or magnesium sulfate. These drugs are having this effect of control or having the capacity to stop the uterine contractions. The other tocolytic agents that we are using commonly are isosuprene, ritrodin, salbutamol, and terbutaline. And induction of premature labor, that is, in that case, in case if because of one or other reason, in case if you want to induce a preterm labor, you should see the lung surfactant ratio. And if you are expecting low surfactant, you can give antenatal period, you can give, or before the delivery, you can give corticosteroids. You can give betamethasone 12 milligram intramuscularly in 24 hours, 2 doses you can give. That may ensure the lung maturity. Otherwise, you can give dexamethasone 6 milligram IM every 12 hours, 4 doses you can give. Next is the assessment of the preterm baby. For assessing the neuromuscular maturity of the preterm baby, we are using the Ballard score. Here, this picture gives you an explanation of the Ballard score. The parameters include posture, flexion of the wrist, arm recoil, popliteal angle, scarf sign, and heel to ear flexion. So here you just see if the posture of the baby is fully extended, you can give the score 0, and slightly flexed, you can give the score 1. And if it is flexed, mild flexed, you can give the score 2. And if the baby is like a frog position, almost flexed, the score can be 3. And if the extremities are fully flexed, you can give the score 4. And next is the square window, that is degree of flexion of the wrist. If it is more than 90 degree, give the score -1. If it is 90 degree, give the score 0. And if it is 60 degree, give the score 1. And if it is 45 degree, the score will be 2. And if it is 30 degree, the score will be 3. And if it is 0, the score will be 4. And next is recoil of the arm, that is after extension. If it is maintaining that extension, that is if it is remaining in the 180 degree, the score is 0. And if it is going back to 140 to 180 degree, the score is 1. And if the angle is between 100 to 110 to 140, the score can be 2. And if it is 90 to 110, the score can be 3. And if it is correct 90 degree or less than 90 degree, you can give the score 4. And next is popliteal angle. See, if it is 180 degree, if you are able to bring it up to 180 degree, the score is -1. And if you are able to bring only 160 degree, the score is 0. If 140 degree is possible, the score is 1. And if 120 degree is possible, the score is 2. You can see this angle, the leg which is making an angle with the body. And if the score, if it is making 100 degree, the score is 3. And if it is making 90 degree, the score is 4. And if it is making less than 90 degree, the score is 5. And next is scarf sign. Already I have told you, if you are bringing the arm towards the chest, if you are able to bring it fully without any resistance, the score is -1. So if you are able to bring it very easily, but if it is not coming towards the midline, slightly, if it is coming only towards the midline, the score is 0. And if it is coming towards the midline, just the score is 1. And if it is coming fully towards the midline, and if you are feeling resistance when you are bringing, if it's not coming, in the case of score 2, it will be coming slightly only, difficulty will be there. And in the case of score 3, if you want to give score 3, it will be difficult for you to bring it towards the midline. It won't touch the midline. Even if you are bringing towards this side also, immediately it will go back to the previous position. And next is heel to ear. If you are bringing it towards the ear, and if it is fully possible to bring the heel towards the ear, the score is -1. And if it is only making an angle like this, in the Barrett score almost 160 degree, you have seen that 160 degree angle is there. If you are not able to touch up to here, the score is 0. And when you are touching, a slight flexion is there, the score is 1. And when you are bringing it, if it is maintaining almost an upright position, that is above it, between 100 to 140 degree, the score is 2. And if you are not able to bring it, if it is fully flexed like a square, that is 90 degree, in that case you can give the score 3. Thank you for watching this video. If you feel that the video is useful, please subscribe the channel